Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown again alongside my partner Andre Anderson for the fourth and final game of day one of the Montgomery College tip-off tournament. We've had three very exciting games preceding this one, and we expect nothing less in this one. As the host, Montgomery College Raptors, welcome in the Titans from the County College of Morris. That's in New Jersey. So let's run down the starters. The Raptors are being introduced, so let's introduce the Raptors first. Starting for Montgomery College, number 0, Christian Martin. Number 3, Benito Calla. Number 5, Ibrahim Abdul Mateen Robinson. Number 22, Will Chua. And number 42, Sebastian Dokum. Starting for Morris, number 1, Samir Jordan. Number 4, Hazard Lee. Number 5, Jonathan Edwards. Number 6, Daniel Overbreath. And number 23, Henry Kasunumu. Head coach for the Titans from Morris is Anthony Obery. Head coach for Montgomery College is Jamal Wise. His assistants are Junior Blackman and Elliot Headley. So Morris will be in as we get a good look at the Raptors huddle. There's Coach Jamal Wise. He's in his second season as head coach here at Montgomery College. He was an assistant prior to that. Raptors in gray. The Titans in blue. So the fourth and final game of the day. We've got 4 more coming for you tomorrow, which we'll tell you about in a little bit. But here's the center jump. And Morris gets it and quickly scores. And we've got a whistle. And it's an issue with the clock again. The Raptors will inbound. Number 5, Ibrahim Abdul Mateen Robinson. Inbounding it. His brother is also on the team, but his brother is currently injured, so we won't see him tonight. And there's a quick foul by Morris.
This game's it's already starting to get physical.
No surprise.
None at all. None at all.
No, we expect another high-intensity game. We've had 3 of them so far. There's a steal and a dunk by number 4, Hazir Lee. So Morris off to a quick 4-0 lead. Martin has it taken by Samir Jordan. He drives, no good, foul. Here comes a look at the steal there and the dunk by Lee.
Man.
So to the line is Samir Jordan.
Morris out the
Freshman
gate
guard.
early. They're out the gate early.
We expect this one to be just as physical, just as intense. And And there's another steal. And a lightning move to the hoop by Hazir Lee. And it is quickly 8-0 Morris.
The energy that they're bringing is literally insane.
And the speed.
Yeah.
This Hazir Lee is a fast young man.
The lightning bolt. Dunking, slashing, getting to the basket. He's doing a little bit of everything right now. Defense as well, can't forget that part. It's important.
The Titans come into this one 2-0. The Raptors are 0-2. Raptors lost a couple of tight ones last weekend in the season opening Sullivan tournament in upstate New York, including to the number 17 team in the country, Sullivan, in overtime on their home court. There, the Raptors get it across, and going to have another foul. As Benito Calla went to the hoop and was fouled. Calla was a redshirt last year. And he makes the first. Second is up, off the back of the rim, no good. Lee with the rebound. Lee with the ball. Shoots from the top of the key.
Wow.
Three. He is off to quite the start.
Yeah, a little bit of everything from this guy so far. Lee has been electric. MC needs to really slow this game down right now, get the ball, take their time.
I'm not sure slowing the game down is in either of these two teams' vocabularies. Lee. And he picks up a foul. There's Lee on the baseline. What a move.
I mean, he's hit a three, dunk, you know, a clean layup without contact, layup with contact. A couple steals.
Talk about coming out of the chute firing away, I'll tell you. There's the Raptors' Will Chua. And that's a guy I'm sure we're going to be saying his name a lot tonight, Andre. He is the focal point of the offense for the Raptors.
He is, sophomore star, played very well last year, but this year he's probably trying to come out and say, you know what, I'm a leader on the team. You know, I'm here to make my name, prove my mark, you know what I'm saying? And with that also being the case, his last year, he wants to make sure that any scouts or any teams watching, they know he's a force to be reckoned with. So he's going to have a really good season.
He is. He was the leading scorer for the Raptors last year. He's the leading scorer so far this year, already averaging 25 points a game and 11 and a half rebounds. And talking to head coach Jamal Wise, he tells me that that Will is already getting a lot of looks from four-year schools.
Yeah. 25 and 11.
Yeah.
That is tremendous.
He worked very hard during the offseason on his footwork, his mid-range game. There's the travel. Now, you look at the early stats for Morris. Again, only 2 games into the season. This is their third. And you see that Lee is averaging 18 points a game.
Yeah, second leading scorer on their team.
Leading scorer for them is number 5, number 5, Jonathan Edwards, averaging 22 a game. Again, it's early, but for what we've seen so far, that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Raptors have some good balance. Chua averaging 25 a game. Number 42, Dokum, averaging 14 a game. Dokum and Thomas Lowry, number 20, averages 13 and a half. And Lowry's on the bench right now. There's another whistle. Not sure what that call was. But looking at the scoreboard, 5 team fouls already on the Titans. And we haven't played 3 minutes. That's number 6.
They play, such high intensity that this is what, comes with it. It's a lot of fouls. It's a lot of them trying to attempt to steal the ball, but that's a lot of swiping. So MC's going to be going to the line very soon.
Yes, they are. Chua missed that one. And here comes the Titans. Shot up, no good. Battle for the board. And that's a foul on the Raptors. And that'll put number 23, Henry Kazunmu, on the line. Henry's averaging 7 points a game so far this year and 8 rebounds. And he missed the second. Dokum with the rebound. Chua. Dokum bobbled it. Got to get out of that lane, he does. Battle for the ball.
Man.
I'm not sure if this is rugby or basketball.
There's a lot going on right now. They got to hold on to the ball. The pace is so fast.
The pace is incredible.
Yeah.
We thought the other games were fast-paced. This is off the charts.
There they go.
And there's a 3. Morris having their way early. And Robinson. Jonathan Edwards brings it up against Christian Martin. This is a battle. Edwards, and man, was he fouled. And I think that's going to be on Dokum. Yep, it's on Dokum.
Yep.
And that will put Jonathan Edwards back on the line, the leading scorer so far this season for Morris, averaging 22 a game. And he missed it. He's only shooting 54% from the line. And Thomas Lowry checks in for the Raptors, number 20. He comes in for Dokum. Lowry is from, went to Arundel High School in Anne Arundel County. Timeout on the floor. Raptors trail by 10. It's incredible.
Yeah, fast. I mean, that's all I can keep saying. Fast pace, fast pace. And even when the ball's on the ground, everyone's diving for it. Everyone's trying to get it. So, I mean, Morris had, they started off well. Lee has been tremendous from the start. But I think MC's kind of slowly building into this game. I mean, now they got a couple more points than obviously they did for a while. And they're slowly building. But they're down by 10, so they have a lot of work to do to kind of catch up.
Yeah, they do. And Morris is a quality team. Deep bench. And they have gone to the bench. Number 1, Samir Jordan back in. Oh, nice lead pass. And Robinson, Abdul Mateen Robinson puts it in. Jumper from 3, and that's out of play. Also in for Morris is number 30, Joel Maldonado. Chua loses the handle. Lowry. Rebound. Out of bounds. Morris's ball. Gonna run a set offense here.
Stepped out of bounds.
And there's a whistle, stepped out of bounds.
Only thing that's stopping him right now is the out of bounds line.
Yeah. It's one of the most frequent calls we've had today. It's our 4th game of the day, folks. And that'll be Raptors ball. As Lee got his hand in the passing lane. Here's Lowry. Benito Calla with the basketball. Gets it to Martin. Martin drives the lane, kicks it. Calla's shot is blocked. There's Lee. Kicks it out.
3 ball and
in and out. No good. Jordan with the miss. Here come the Raptors. Ahead to Chua. Nope. He takes it away, and they're going to call a foul. Take a look at this transition.
Good defensive stop. Hands are straight up. Good defense.
I thought Chua was fouled.
Sometimes it's so hard to tell,
I know.
There's so much contact. It's like,
and I don't want to be one of those guys that second guesses.
Exactly.
Yep. In for the Raptors is number 2, Jaden Robinson. And he's going to win the Hairstyle of the Night award. Yeah, number 23 hit the deck there, and he's going to go to the line. No, it's not a shooting foul. Inbound play. Out to Edwards. Over to Zaire Carter. He's in now for Morris, number 3. Martin ahead to Lowry. Drives. Kicks. Oh! Wow.
Wow.
Jaden Robinson hit the floor hard.
That was a good dunk attempt right there, but he's going to the line.
So Jaden Robinson at the foul line. He is a freshman from Dunbar High School in the district.
Yeah.
High energy guy, athletic player. The thing they're working with him on is to calm down a little bit.
Yeah. Grab that rebound.
Oh, that's a foul.
They're in the bonus now, so.
And that foul on Kazunmu. And he's going to go to the bench. That's 18 fouls already on Morris. So the Raptors will be in the 1-and-1.
Rest of the half.
And then at the 10th foul, of course, they'll go to the double bonus. So the Raptors can help themselves a lot at the foul line.
Yep.
The way this game is going, they're going to be at the foul line.
Yeah, it's physical. It's physical.
And it's high intensity.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen. Raptors have 5 teams fouled. Robinson. Good defense. Lowry on defense there.
Three and
Edwards misses. Oh, put back dunk by number 12, Daniel Orabier. And that'll put Robinson on the foul line. We have a good crowd here tonight and a very enthusiastic crowd. And they're being treated to some high intensity basketball. And he missed it. Edwards with the rebound. And they're going to call a foul on Robinson.
that's that energy that you were talking about, how they might want to get him to, play some defense, yes, but you don't need a foul right there.
Right. Particularly when you're trying to crawl back into it. It's early, though, so I shouldn't even use that expression. They're just trailing. It's early. Dokum checks back in for the Raptors. He's 6'10" and 230.
Good kid.
And we stopped that shot by Maldonado.
Chua.
Chua is yet to score, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think he had. Actually, I think he scored one bucket.
So, no, I don't believe Will Chua has scored yet.
They need him to get going.
Right. So Maldonado on the line. Bodies all over the place.
I know. They play so fast that sometimes I'm like, yo, the court's not big enough. It's like, it doesn't seem to have enough room for these guys flying up and down the court like this.
It feels like the court needs to be bigger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're flying up and down, and it seems like there's not enough space. They need to create it, though.
Martin drives, flips it off to Doaklam, who missed it. And a turnover. And here comes Edwards. Leading scorer on Morris. For three. That was Brandon Rodriguez who just checked in. And he buries a three. Put Morris up by 11. Yes. Robinson, no good. Doaklam the rebound. Powers it up and a little too strong.
Another one.
There's another one by Rodriguez.
32% from the three-point line.
2 straight threes by Brandon Rodriguez, who just checked in.
Yeah, spark off the bench. That's always very important. And that's exactly what he's bringing right now. I mean, you see how excited the team is after those back-to-back.
Oh, yeah.
twos.
2 straight threes like that, that really fires up the team. And makes the coach look like a genius.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I know for sure that makes, the Montgomery College coach not too happy.
No, as they trail by 14.
Yeah.
Lots of time. And at this pace, 14 is nothing. But the Raptors really need to get Will Chichua into the offense. Right now, he's been very quiet. And he really has had very few touches.
Yeah, it's very true. It is very true.
Of course, Morris knows about him. There's no secret.
Oh, no.
The guy was all conference last year. He led the league in double-doubles. He's off to a great start this year. They know who to focus on. Martin ahead to Robinson. He's double teamed and they call a timeout. They saved a possession there.
Yeah. But this double team and high intensity defense seems to be a lot for the Raptors right now. I mean, they're getting caught in like corners and they can't find a way out. They're calling timeouts.
No, the defense of Morris has been impressive.
Yeah, it really has.
And I really think that's the difference in the game so far.
It is.
Got the Raptors cheerleaders here tonight. They're doing a great job. Always love seeing them here. Adds a lot of spirit.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Got a good crowd. This crowd is pretty fired up. Boy, that women's, in the last game, the MC women's game against Nova, that crowd was going nuts.
Oh, I know. That was crazy. Very intense game. It was a good game.
Unfortunately, the Raptors came out on the short end, 75-71. And a little push and shove there between Chris Martin and Brandon Rodriguez. They're not going to call anything, but they're going to remind them of the rules. Chichua puts it up. Oh, won't go. And there's Abdul Mateen Robinson. They needed that bucket. There's Martin got his hand on it, but Morris kept possession.
good sign is that MC hasn't allowed Jonathan Edwards, number 5, to kind of get going yet.
No, he hasn't really gotten going yet either.
Yeah.
So the two leading scorers, ooh, big collision there in the corner. And foul is on number 5, Jonathan Edwards. And the Raptors are in the double bonus now. That's 10 team fouls in 10 minutes on not even 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's that aggressive defense.
So they're averaging more than a foul a minute. For everyone's sake, let's hope that doesn't continue.
Yeah.
Particularly for the MC production crew, which has been here since Dark 30.
Yeah, but I wonder what in the first 2 games, what their, foul rate, how many fouls they were getting.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
That I don't know. They're 2-0 on the season. Last year they were 13-11. They lost in the regional semis.
Wow.
Deep 3.
There he goes again.
That's Rodriguez again. Boy, he has really set a fire out here. That's 3 threes for him.
Yeah, he's finding the groove right now.
Another steal. Here's Maldonado with it. Gives it to Lee, who buries the 3. Lee got off to the blazing start. It's a 3. Meanwhile, Chachua has yet to score. And we're more than halfway through the first half.
They need to get him going ASAP. Here's that last 3. Brandon Rodriguez. I mean,
boy,
3 for 3.
He hasn't hit the rim yet.
No.
Lee, Chachua had a lot to do with that. And that's a foul on Morris. They have to keep their average up.
Yeah.
And that'll put Robinson back on the line. Jaden Robinson, a freshman out of Dunbar. And he makes the first. The Raptors need to make some hay here on the foul line because they're going to be there a lot.
Yeah. With this intensity that Morris plays with, this is going to be maybe every single time down the lane for them.
And Robinson makes them both. That's what the Raptors need. Get the easy buckets. Foul on Doken. He pushed him as Aura Pierre went up for the bucket. Pushed him. Not a lot, but enough. That indicates to me that these officials are calling it close.
Yeah, they are.
Because that really was not much of a foul.
No. But I mean, if they're going to call it like that for both teams, then,
Dokum, another foul. Take a look at that. Martin, just, well, take your pick.
Yeah, yeah.
Dokum misses the first. Dokum went as a graduate of Good Counsel High School in Montgomery County. Misses them both. Oh. Boy, that Lee is fearless.
Yeah, he is.
He's something. Robinson. Rebound to Orabier. There's Lee.
Wow. This man,
Hazard Lee.
This guy is not missing today.
No, he's really hurting the Raptors.
Locked in.
Martin tried a lob to Dokum. Dokum comes up with it and scores.
That's what he needs to do. Get the ball down low, play strong, you know, and then get up there, dunk it, lay up, whatever he needs to do, get a foul if he has to. But the team needs him.
That was a good effort there by Dokum. Martin, another lob. Wouldn't go down for Abdul Mateen Robinson. And Samir Jordan with the miss. Raptors with the ball. Ahead to Robinson. Puts it up, no good. Here comes Edwards, the other way. Oh, he missed it. Raptors with the ball. Martin hits it from the top of the key.
Finally get a basket.
They need him to get going as well. He averages over 10 a game. Here's Lee. Got Kayla on him, and Kayla fouled him. And that'll put Hazir Lee on the foul line. He's just a freshman, averaging 18 a game coming in.
Yeah, I know Morris is going to be very happy to have him back next season.
Oh, yeah. If some four-year school doesn't come in and offer him.
Yeah, right away.
Morris is a D2 program out of the Garden State Athletic Conference, Region 19 in the NJCAA. They play at a very tough conference, as does Montgomery College. And Abdul Mateen Robinson with the bucket. Raptors trailing by 15. We've actually played a couple of minutes without a foul.
There he goes again.
I think we need to note that.
Yeah.
There, Chachua had it blocked by, boy, that guy has had an impact. Daniel Orabier made an impact. There's, nope, no good. Edwards, but he's going to go to the line. So that ends like a 2-minute run without a foul. Both teams now in the double bonus. Once you hit that 10 personal foul mark, team foul mark, it's double bonus time. So both teams in the double bonus from here on out. We're in the first half of the fourth game of the day in the Montgomery College tip-off tournament. In the first game, the Monroe women won 71-64 over Frederick. The second game of the day, Camp Community College knocked off Union 71-63. And in the third game of the day, Northern Virginia knocked off the MC Raptors women's team 75-71. So 3 really competitive games so far today. No blowouts.
None. There's a couple chances of potential blowouts in some of the games earlier, but every team came back, every team, fought hard, and the games ended very close.
Yeah, the way the Monroe-Frederick game started, I thought that was going to be probably our best bet for a blowout.
Yeah.
And Monroe did lead by 20 points after 3 quarters.
Yep.
But Frederick showed me an awful lot in that fourth quarter. And there's a tie-up. The Raptors ball. I'm sorry, it'll be Morris ball. The Titans. Titans in blue, Raptors in gray. Titans have led from the get-go. They have not trailed. Chachua knocks that one away. Chachua, if I am not mistaken, has yet to score.
I believe so. I believe so, which is crazy because
he's your leading scorer.
Leading scorer. He's electric.
Now I gotta say, the guy they've got on him, number 12, Daniel Orabier, has really done a good job on him. He has really clamped down on him.
He has.
And he's a big fella. He matches him in height. Chachua is 6'7", and Orabier, I would say, is every bit of that. And from what I see of Orabier, he is one of those guys he likes playing defense.
You need players like that in your team. A defensive specialist.
Yep.
Especially when you can have a player like that go against the opposing team's best player, lock him down.
It's a challenge.
Yep.
You must like that challenge. But there's a lot of game left, and Will Chachua, I just don't see him shutting him down.
No.
There he is. Scoops it. No, just won't go. Good rebound by Martin. Lowry drives. No good. And here comes Lee. No stopping that train. And another foul on the Raptors. And foul trouble, we're going to check on that at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's collecting fouls here.
And there's Lee at the line. He misses the first foul shot. Maldonado checks back in for Morris. Raptors have done limited substitutions. Again, they have been afflicted by early season injuries. So the Raptors bench is not as deep as they originally hoped it would be. And there's Chachua.
Finally gets on the board.
Chachua gets on the board.
Yeah, hopefully that lets him. Hopefully that sparks him, gets him going a little bit.
Gets the motor running. And nice move by Abdul Mateen Robinson. Raptors cut it to 17. 3:54 and a half. Edwards. And stepped on the line.
Turnover. Let's get another basket here, you know.
That has been the turnover of the day.
Yeah, stepping on the line.
Yeah. From the corner. Not a lot of room there.
No, there isn't. Makes sense.
Lowry in and out. Tip, no good. Chachua goes back up, no good. Rebound, Morris. Ahead to Edwards. Three, no good. Rebound, Lowry. Oh, what a block by Orbier. Oh, but Lowry came up with a loose ball and buried the three.
Yeah, they needed that three.
They really did. Edwards, double team, gives to Maldonado. Nice drive to the hoop. Lowry again for three.
There he goes.
Back-to-back threes. Back-to-back threes for Thomas Lowry.
Yep, they needed that big time.
That fires the team up. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Just like you draw it up. Lee with the ball out at the point. Martin almost got his hands on it. Edwards missed it. Lowry with the rebound. He's on a roll. Takes it to the hoop. No good. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Raptors ball. Thomas Lowry out of Arundel High School. Head coach Jamal Wise had a lot of good things to say about Thomas. Called him a knockdown shooter, and I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Oh, yeah, we just saw back-to-back knockdown threes.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe another one coming up soon could really, I mean, one more three to games, they're only down by 10. There's a whole other half to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left, a lot of basketball left. Lowry is a transfer from Mount St. Mary's, four-year school. And so he comes in with some experience.
That's always good. I mean, especially the division, you know, the NCAA experience. He can bring that over to his
Mount St. Mary's is a D1 program.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, but there you go. D1 experience, NCAA experience. Bring that over to his teammates, and
I think his issue there was really playing time, and so obviously here he's going to get a lot of that, and from what we've seen, it's no wonder. Chua goes up with it. Put back by Abdul Mateen Robinson. He's had a nice first half. Maldonado has it taken away by Chachua. I'll tell you what, Jamal Wise is seriously into this game.
Oh, yeah. He's a very energetic coach, very emotional. You can see, how he's feeling right on the sideline at all times.
Well, Jamal was a great high school player in this area. Played at Paint Branch, was the Gatorade Player of the Year.
Wow.
His senior season for the state of Maryland.
Wow.
And went on to play at Rhode Island and then several years in Europe. So got a lot of basketball experience. Very smart guy. Teaches math in a high school in the district. Here's Lowry. Okay. Kala. Benito Kala with the bucket. And a steal. And another bucket.
There they go. It's the energy that they need to bring, and they're finally doing it.
Benito Kala, 2 quick hoops.
Yep.
All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game.
There you go. Just like that. Just like that. Keep up this defensive intensity.
Edwards. And stolen again. Abdul Mateen Robinson. And he's fouled. And he'll go to the foul line. The chance to further cut into the lead. So the Raptors have really come back here in the latter part of the first half. They were trailing by 17, 18 points.
You see how quickly the tides can turn?
It's down to 7.
Just like that.
And those 2 threes by Lowry really seemed to fire up the team.
Yeah, that was the spark that really got them going.
He got those 2 threes, then Benito Kala with 2 quick baskets.
Great defense.
Robinson hit the second one. 6-point game.
Oh, the shoe came off.
Yeah, Lowry hit the deck. He's all right. And he picked up a foul. That was a little bit out of control there, I think. He lost his shoe. And those are some excellent shoes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. Just gonna.
Would you wear them?
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe 40 years ago I would.
Okay.
Or 50. But 50 years ago, they made shoes in 2 colors, black and white. That was it. Oh, let's see. This year, I'm going to get black Converse. Oh, maybe I'll go crazy and get white.
Oh, yeah, change it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Hey, there were only a couple of sneaker brands when I was a kid.
Nike, I'm assuming.
You had Converse, you had Keds, and you had PF Flyers.
Wow.
That's it.
PF Flyers.
There
Never
was
heard
no
of that.
Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Puma.
3 ball. Here we go. Boom.
Robinson with a big 3. Right at the buzzer. And that is the half.
Yeah, way to end the half.
What a half of basketball. Morris on top, 50-45, but the Raptors with quite a run at the end of the half. They were trailing by as much as 16, 17 points, and they have come back to cut it to 5. And I think this first half is quite the going to be quite the entree to the second half, Andre.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be obviously a lot of energy, obviously a lot of dunks, a lot of threes. It's going to be exciting.
All right, so stick with us. We're coming. We'll be right back with some halftime activities, and then after that, the second half of this one. You're watching Raptors basketball on MCTV.
Yo, get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound. Hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound. Hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
How do you define Montgomery College? That's the wrong question. It's not how it's defined, it's who defines it.
This is a turning point. It's a moment to look to the future and reify your purpose.
MC is defined by those who put in the work, from early mornings to late nights, from the classroom to the workplace, with their family, their teammates, and when no one is watching. When our students declare to the world, "I am MC," they stand tall, backed by 1,000 experiences that have shaped them along the way, and alongside those who have walked the path with them.
There may have been moments of doubt when you were afraid by too much responsibility. Some of you have changed majors and found new inspiration. Through it, you have found the courage to surmount obstacles. If you are the first in your family to graduate, please stand up and say, "I am MC." If you earned a high school diploma and a college degree this spring, if you speak more than one language, if you are older than 50 years old, a military service member, an honor student, if you are a parent or a member of the Montgomery College graduating class, please stand up and say, "I am MC."
Those who embody our spirit don't just graduate and move on. Rather, they continue to represent us as the designers of change and the leaders that they've been the entire time. We don't just begin to be inspired by them after graduation. It's that in our eyes, they've been inspiring us every step of the way.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the bars in the place. I'm talking one chance at best. Yes, yeah. It's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
I'm Jordan. I am a second year in the early college program. I'm currently majoring in elementary education and special education at the Rockville campus.
Hello, my name is Paulo Rivero. I am a second year student at the Montgomery College Early College Biotechnology program.
My name is Krushi Savla, and I was in the early college program. I completed the nursing program at Montgomery College, and I graduated in spring of 2022.
I found high school to be sometimes a bit challenging. It really depends on what courses you take. I wanted to challenge myself academically more,
I've always knew that I wanted to have my diploma in something else, like going into high school. So the early college program stuck out to me the most because the degree at the end.
The most fascinating thing about it was it had the career pathway that I wanted to choose regardless. So that really pulled me to it, saying, you know, if this is what I want to do for my whole life, then why not start early?
When I came on campus, I was like, what did I get myself into? Like, it was like, oh my gosh, moment.
IMC schedule is, I would say, is more flexible than high school. You don't have to spend 45-minute periods in one class.
In high school, you know, we have 7 classes in the day. They're all only 50 minutes. Then you come to college, you don't have all your classes every day.
There is a lot of growth in the first 2 semesters that I've gone through. I think that's something that you would discover. You realize that, oh, going to a professor's office hours is really helpful. It's a very good tool.
I was very nervous as to how I'm going to keep up the pace, but also excited to meet other people that, you know, are doing the same thing as me, making new friends and just experiencing college. So it's helpful, you know, having that bond where we all kind of stuck together, we all knew what we all were feeling within each other. So it was that sort of empathy that, you know, we all shared, where we all understood what we all are feeling. Yeah.
I kind of feel like I have a head start because I did 2 years in college before I went into a 4-year. I'm more responsible for myself, and it's like I don't have like reminders to like go to class, do your homework. It's like I have to do it. I didn't like how with AP classes, if you don't pass the final exam, you wouldn't get the credit. With the early college program, when I graduate in 2023, next year, I will have more than a credit. I will have a degree, and I feel like that will help me when I apply to a 4-year, more than an AP class.
Walking across the stage, like, it's surreal, I will say. Even for me, it's like at, you know, 18, 19 years old with an associate's degree, I can step out and get into my career is like a dream. Like, you know, it doesn't even feel real sometimes. And it really shows that there is no age limit at what you can do things.
I would recommend this program. I feel like it's gonna be like really rewarding. Like, I get to walk not once, but twice. I have a college degree. I'm gonna also have a diploma. It's gonna be like a feeling that like, wow, like I did it.
It's not that you can't do it, it's what's stopping you from doing it. If you want to do it, I believe you truly can do it because you have more than enough resources to get you through it.
So my advice to any new students that are thinking of going to this program is to use your resources, to be committed, and to persevere through this. Because once you have a good attitude towards this, you're unstoppable.
from the beginning.
That's what I'm talking about.
All young men with suits and ties, just sitting in the crowd smoking big cigars. I hope you're ready for what's coming now. I'm the one on the lady that will bring you down. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place.
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Career success starts at Montgomery College. At MC, you can prepare for a rewarding career in these exciting fields. And if your goal is earning a bachelor's degree, starting at MC is a smart choice. MC's award-winning team supports you every step of the way, with advising, tutoring, and career preparation to help you make your move. Join the thousands that are getting the education they need to succeed at Montgomery College.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen. Make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the beat to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in, then break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the shower. Part two, break you in, then. Yeah, that's every day.
Employers are looking for licensed physical therapy assistants. MC has a 2-year degree program for jobs in this career. PT assistants work with people of all ages recovering from all injuries. You could be working at a hospital, a large corporation, a private practice, a nursing home. The list is long. And in this area, the average pay is good. Learn more about becoming a physical therapy assistant and how MC can help you get there.
All right, welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. We are just moments away from getting the second half of our fourth and final game of the day underway. The Raptors find themselves behind 50-45, but Andre, it could have been a lot worse.
It was for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It was for a little bit,
yeah.
But MC fought back, and that's what they do. You know, I mean, if they do end up getting down, they do fight back. They do have that electric energy on defense, which sparks the offense. And Lockery had some really good three-pointers that kind of set like this new tone for the team going into the second part of that second half, or second part of the first half, and then hopefully in this second half as well.
Yeah, and we do want to apologize to the Thomas Lockery family out there.
Yes.
We called him Lowry, and it is pronounced Lockery, and we appreciate the clarification on that. But that young man really lit the fire under this team. Hit a couple of quick threes, had a couple of drives to the hoop, played some really tough defense, and when they brought him in, it's like the tide changed for the Raptors.
Yeah, it really did, and I'm pretty sure this half he's going to be, playing more minutes again. He's going to try to be sparking his team to get more points and hopefully, take the lead.
Yep. I mean, they were trailing by as much as 16, 17 points in the first half. They got it down to 5 at the end, and I fully expect to see this continue. And we see that number 20, Lockery, is out here going to start second half for the Raptors. He was on the bench to start the game. Let's run down the lineups real quick for the Raptors. Number 3, Kala, Benito Kala. Number 0, Christian Martin. Number 5, Ibrahim Abdul-Mateen Robinson. Number 22, Will Chichua. And number 20, Thomas Lockery for Montgomery College, and Chichua going to the line right away. He was not at the line the entire first half.
So it's a good start for him here.
Second half starters for Morris are number 4, Azir Lee. Number 1, Samir Jordan. Number 12, who did an outstanding job on Chichua, Daniel Orabier. Number 5, Jonathan Edwards. And number 23, Henry Kazunmu. What they really need to do is get Chichua into the offense. But he has been under constant pressure the entire game. And there you go.
There he goes.
Nice putback by Chichua, and he'll go to the line. That was pure hustle there by Chichua. He was outnumbered 4-1.
Yeah, he has a lot of heart. A lot of heart.
Will Chichua, leading scorer for the Raptors last season, leading scorer for the Raptors this season so far. Made all conference last year as a freshman and is heading in that direction already this year. Oh, what a block.
That's all ball. Yep, it's jump.
Abdul Mateen Robinson, what a block. And they call it a jump ball, which it was. Here's Martin.
Ah.
So a couple of quick baskets here for Morris. Here's another steal and a bucket. This is starting eerily similarly to the first half.
Yeah, they can't let this get away from them. But here we go. Okay, good. Good basket right here. I mean, Morris has been playing. Yeah, Morris has been playing good defense. We got to give it to them. But MC needs to take a little better care of the ball. Ooh.
And that's an offensive foul. And look at the fouls already.
3
quick team fouls on Morris in less than 2 minutes. So they're ahead of their average now.
Oh, what?
Martin gets it to Lockery. Throws it up there. Battle for the ball. Lockery gets it to Chichua. And he's fouled. So another foul. 4 quick team fouls. And Morris wants a timeout. And they're going to start fouling guys out.
Yeah, a couple guys have to have, close to the maximum amount of fouls you can have before you get kicked out, because this many fouls already.
Good look at the Morris huddle. Looks like Maldonado might be getting ready to come in. Bouncing up and down there a little bit. He was he had some good minutes in the first half, but nope. Coming in is number 1, Samir Jordan for Morris.
Good steal.
Kicks it out. Good steal by Kala. Takes it all the way. No good. Chachua with the rebound. Has it taken away. Battle for the ball. You think these guys want this game, Andre?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is Chachua that's diving in there.
Lockery even was like, let me get a part of the action.
Yeah,
there.
let me get in there to this scrum. And the foul was on Chachua. It's Jordan with the ball. Spins, puts it up, and he drew that foul. It's not so much that he was fouled, he drew that foul.
Yeah, he made sure to get that contact, and then
he got the contact and he got the call. That shot had no chance of going in.
No, not at all.
And he makes the first. You know who's not in there is Hazir Lee, who was one of the real spark plugs in the first half for Morris.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
He's not in there right now.
Oh, he's in. Right here. Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right here.
Oh, he's back out there. Okay.
Yeah.
He did not start the second half. But he quickly came in. And it'll stay down. Raptors with the press. There's Hazir Lee. Lockery's on him. That's a good matchup. Shot off the mark. Chachua with the rebound to Lockery behind the back.
What a pass.
What a pass is right to Jaden Robinson, who's in now for the Raptors. In and out, rebound to Martin. He pushes it up, kicks it to Lockery from the corner, off the rim, no good. Battle for the ball, Lockery, and he's fouled.
Foul number 5 for Morris.
Team foul number 5. 2 more and the Raptors will be in the 1-and-1. Kind of incredible. Martin. A rebound. And Daniel Oravier came up limping after that rebound. Looks like he's all right. Shot off the rim, no good. Here comes Martin, pushing it to Robinson. Little jumper, no good. Chachua the rebound, puts it up. In and out.
In and out.
Ball was halfway down the net. Here's Hazir Lee. Drives, dishes, nice. And that's number 10 Jagger Ruiz. First we've seen him tonight. I must say, as a Rolling Stones fan, I approve of the first name. How much you want to bet his father's a Stones fan?
Hey. Bet some good money on that.
Timeout on the floor. The Raptors down by 8. The pace is unbelievable.
Yeah, these guys are extremely fit. It's just like a sprint back and
Yeah.
forth the whole time.
It's crazy. Wow. That was quite a feat there by the Raptors cheerleading team. I would never want to be the one they throw up in the air like that.
No.
Wow. Talk about trust.
Yeah. It's a lot of trust.
A lot of trust. It's a dangerous activity.
It is.
It is.
It is.
A lot of people don't realize that, but
it is.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Particularly when you're performing those tricks on hardwood.
There's no give on the hardwood.
No.
Oh.
Morris with the press now, and there's a foul. And that's on Ruiz. And Jaden Robinson will inbound it to Martin. Knocked away there. Here comes Edwards, has it blocked.
Return to favor.
Martin to Lockery for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Battle for the ball, Lockery dives in there. And he came up with it. Just absolutely just sacrificing his body.
This man hustles from start to finish. I love his energy.
I guarantee he's hustling when he's sleeping.
Oh, yeah. That's what he's thinking about.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is, the way he's throwing himself around. Now he's got to pull himself together and make both foul shots. The Raptors are in the 1-and-1. And he missed it. And he picked up a foul. A little too much hustle that time. And back in is Abdul Mateen Robinson for the Raptors. Raptors with full court press on. Everybody down. But Morris breaks it. Ooh, missed a very makeable layup there. Loose ball. Raptors come up with it. They got to get it across.
Another foul.
Another foul this time by number 1. Samir Jordan. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Raptors are going to be in the double bonus before we hit the 10-minute mark.
At this rate, yes.
Right now they are exceeding their average, which has been about a foul a minute. Good defense there by Abdul Mateen Robinson. He didn't give an inch. There's Azir Lee, no good. Chachua with the rebound. He pushes it up. He can handle it. Nice dish to Abdul Mateen Robinson. Very unselfish play there by Chachua.
Yeah, he's showing an all-around offensive game today. Scoring, passing.
Raptors cut the lead to 6. Ruiz with the ball. Gets it to Lee. Great stolen.
Steal.
Ahead to Robinson for the dunk. Oh, that was beautiful. The hair was flying, and so was he.
Yep. Great way to put it. Here's a good replay of the dunk.
Here we go.
He got up there.
Wow.
You know, one time, I almost got a dunk, playing at the park. One time, it was close. That was the closest I ever came to dunking the ball.
I could never do it.
Yeah, I have the infamous saying of, if I was 3 inches taller, that's what I would say. If I was only 6 inches taller, it's like, well, in that case.
Jaden Robinson is 6'3", so he's not exactly tiny. But boy, did he get up there. Four-point game. Edwards. A lot of bumping, no fouls. Rebound to Dokum, who's in.
It's time for Dokum to, put a stamp on this game.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Time for him to make his presence known in the paint. He's a project. They're working with him. Coaches have an expression which I think is very apt, which is they're a work in progress.
Yeah.
A lot of players are a work in progress.
A lot of potential.
Yeah.
They might be a little bit raw when it comes to their abilities, but it's there.
Yeah.
And you're seeing again. Grab that offensive rebound. This is exactly what they're looking for from him.
And Dokum gets a he didn't agree with that, but the foul was on Dokum. Brandon Rodriguez is in. There's a three, and that seems to be his shot.
Yep. Anything behind the arc, he's not afraid to let the ball fly.
There's a steal by Ruiz. Good look at Anthony Obrey, the head coach for Morris. He's fired up. And there is Rodriguez doing what he does best. There he is again. That time he had a hand in his face. Abdul Mateen Robinson got his hand on it. I think he thought they called a foul on him. They did.
They did, yeah.
They did call it.
Shooting
so that'll be a 3-shot foul.
Yep.
He fouled him on the 3. He didn't think so. That was one of the less obvious fouls that we've had today.
Yeah.
Most of them have been quite obvious.
Yeah, pretty physical. But
Let's
these
see
are.
it. Yeah, he got him on the arm.
Yeah.
And he misses that one. Got one more shot. He missed that one. That's surprising for a guy that hits the three like he does. Dokum put the arm out. Offensive foul. Might have been a little bit of, shall we say, Academy Award performance there.
He was already falling back, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Yes, he had the arm out.
Yeah.
And that may be the reason they made the call. He did try to clear the way with his arm. But Lee was already into full flop mode before he was even touched. And that time, number 12, Daniel Orabier with the foul. So that'll put Dokum on the line. 8-point game, 11 minutes to go. And another day tomorrow. 4 more games tomorrow, Andre.
Oh, yeah. Hope everyone's ready for some more basketball.
I hope so, too. We'll kick things off at 11 a.m. I guess the appropriate thing to say would be we tip things off at 11 a.m.
Very true. Very true.
What sport am I calling here?
You do so many sports. It's just, they all start to blend together.
Lee has a shot blocked by Mateen Robinson. And who was that foul on? Take your pick. Looks, from the expression on Chris Martin's face, I would say it's Chris Martin. And that puts Orabier on the foul line. This is the first. He's played some excellent defense today for Morris.
Yes. For the whole, basically, first half, he was locking up Chua.
Yeah, Chua locked him up. Chua is probably going to have nightmares about it tonight. Dokum.
3 ball. There they go.
And Martin with the 3. Cuts the lead to 5.
Yep.
Just over 10 minutes to go.
Grab that.
Jordan missed it. Timeout on the floor. Coach Wise is not happy in the Raptors huddle right now. He's coaching them up, as we say.
He's happy that they're still going to retain the ball, but I think he doesn't want, to use up his timeouts when he might need them towards the end of the game.
No, he didn't want to use the timeouts.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about. The Raptors will inbound the ball. Jaden Robinson to do the honors. 10-10 to go. Both teams in the double bonus. So no matter the situation, they're going to shoot 2 every time they go to the foul line. And not sure what the discussion was, but we're ready to go. Chua. Abdul Mateen Robinson off the mark. Dokum. It's going to be Morris ball, and looks to me like Jaden Robinson hurt his ankle when he hit the deck.
A little replay of it right here. Yeah, I think he got his foot stepped on.
He's walking it off. And he's going to get a little break. So Benito Cala's back in. And Robinson walking around, looks like he's okay. Let's talk to the trainer a little bit. Partially blocked by Abdul Mateen Robinson, but stolen right back by Ruiz. And an easy bucket for Samir Jordan. A little out of control there.
Yeah, a little too quick.
And has the lead.
Can't let him get going. He's been quiet the second half, but if he gets any spark, it could be a big problem.
If he gets the smallest opening, he just takes it.
Yep.
Chachua off the mark.
Good rebound.
Cala, and there's a foul. And that'll put Chris Martin on the line. He'll be shooting 2. Timeout on the floor. Look at Hazard Lee there. Been a real spark plug for Morris.
Any veterans in the house? Any veterans in the house? Please stand. If you are a veteran, please stand. If you are a veteran, please stand. Any more veterans? Thanks for your service. We have no veterans on the other side. No veterans on the other side. I guess you won by yourself, bro. My man, let's give him a nice round of applause, y'all. He makes it possible to watch basketball.
All right, we are ready to continue. That was a full timeout. And Martin's first one is good. Cuts the lead Foul shots are going to play a big part in this last 8.5 minutes. Ball's out of bounds. It's going to stay at the Morris end. Raptors did not like that call, but
it seems like it kind of came off of one of the guys, Morris's leg.
Oh, Chachua. There's a foul. Chachua was fouled on a breakaway. Chachua will be shooting 2. First is up and good. And the second one bounces through. 5-point game. Anybody's game with 8.5 minutes to go. Wide open.
Good defense right there.
Excellent. Jokum got back quickly.
Yeah, he did.
Cut that off. Could have been an easy hoop for Morris. Drive to the basket and another foul. So to the line goes number 1, Samir Jordan. First one's up and good. Second one's up and good. Martin, ooh, he walked.
Travel, yep.
He traveled. Raptors in the press again. Lee to Ruiz to Jordan. He drives. Edwards, foul. Chachua with the foul.
Seems to be jumping straight up, though.
I know.
I mean, you know, some of these maybe we can let him play it, but
yeah, that had the looks of a foul that could have gone either way. But Edwards got the call. Martin for 3. Chris Martin with a big 3 to cut the lead to 5.
MC needs to get over this hump of like the 5-point. You know, they've been.
Yeah, that's kind of been the threshold.
Yep.
They need to stop. They don't get it. Jordan with a nice drive and hoop. Calla to Martin. Shot is off, and foul's going to be on Edwards over the back. And that'll put Chichua at the line. There's Jamal Wise, head coach of the Raptors. And looks like Jaden Robinson is getting ready to check back in, so that's good news for the Raptors. He comes in for Benito Calla. And it's a 5-point lead again. Here we are at that 5-point mark again.
It's that threshold. They can't seem to, you know, make a stop here and then score to make it like 3 or 2 points. Let's see if they can do it here.
They need a stop.
And
they get it. Abdul Mateen Robinson with the rebound ahead to Martin. Takes it all the way and has it blocked by Daniel Orabier.
He's a defensive stud.
He really is.
Really athletic. Anything around the rim, he is going to swat it, grab the board.
He's got long arms.
Yeah.
Great leaping ability. Long. Bakri, who's back in there for the Raptors. Almost picked it up. Jordan again. What's the call now? Not sure what this is about. I thought he said, I don't see a 32 out there. Yeah. I'm not sure what the issue is. I don't know. Whatever, Morris retains possession, and they promptly turn it over. And the two officials are not agreeing on the call.
Yeah.
That you could see. I'm not sure who the lead official is, but these two officials did not agree on that last call.
Not at all. They literally, one said yes, one said no. Or
Exactly.
one said, you know, blue, white, whatever.
We could see it. It was right in front of us.
Yeah.
The gentleman facing us said no. The gentleman with his back to us said yes. And Anthony Aubry is amused, but not amused, shall we say.
Oh, my.
And Lee, after all of that.
There you go. That's what they say, the term ball never lies. That's kind of the term right there.
Yeah.
It's when you think something happened or you know, maybe you don't agree, but then on the very next play, there's something happened and the ball kind of just like ends up falling to the other team, and then they score. It's like, well, ball never lies.
Meanwhile, Chachua just cut the lead to 3 with 5 minutes to go in the ball game. So whatever was going on, we're not quite clear. And there's a 3. That was a big 3. And there's a timeout on the floor. So the Raptors get it down to 3 points and then a 3 immediately. Puts it back up to 6. Well, the officials are smiling. The 3 of them are talking. So
yeah, apparently
whatever the disagreement was, it was handled amicably.
Yeah, they made up and they're friends again.
Yeah. We weren't privy to the conversation. We can only speculate. So in other words, we won't. Good look at the Raptors bench. Just under 5 minutes to go. Chris Martin with the ball. Guarded by Jordan. Big possession. They're all big from this point on. Abdul-Mateen Robinson, and he'll go to the line. He battled through that. And the foul is on number 5, Jonathan Edwards. He got his money's worth on that foul. And Abdul-Mateen Robinson has a chance to cut it to 3 again.
This is the new threshold now, 3.
Yeah, the old threshold was 5.
Yeah.
Now they've gotten it under 5. Let's see if they can get it to 3. They've been there a couple of times this half. He makes it. So we got a 3-point game with 4.5 minutes to go. Deep 3.
Those 3-pointers are.
Puts it back up to 6.
They're gonna have to find a way to. Oh, here's a 3 right here. And
there's another 3
right back.
for Martin.
Right back. All right, now they need to stop here. Don't give up the 3.
So let's see if they can pick up a stop here. They need a stop. Jordan, no good. Lockery with the rebound. Ahead to Martin. Martin drives, he's fouled by Ruiz. I gotta say, I gotta agree with Ruiz. Of all the fouls in this game, that was pretty ticky-tack.
Yeah, I mean, some of them could have probably been let go, let them play. I understand if the refs are trying to keep the game like in line.
Well,
you know?
true, and they have to keep control of it.
Yeah, exactly. But the game hasn't really gotten out of control at all. especially with the
it
physicality
hasn't.
part. It's been pretty physical, but in a fair way.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's been out of control. So
No.
But I guess they've been doing reffing like this the whole game. So I guess they're being consistent.
They've been consistently tight on the call.
Yeah.
That is true. Very true. So you can't ask for more than that. Exactly. You got to adapt to whatever the refs are doing. And if they're calling pretty much everything in the lane, which is what they're doing, then you got to work through that. Ruiz with the drive. Back up to a 3-point lead. There's Martin back in. His ankle looks fine. He'll probably feel it tonight.
Yeah, certainly in the morning.
Martin trip. Chachua. Pretty little turnaround.
Big basket.
It's a 1-point game.
There we go.
1-point game. Raptors have battled the entire game to get back to this point. They have never led. There's Lee. Oh. That was a tough shot. He got it to go. Puts the lead back up to 3. 2:20 to go. Martin from the key.
Great shot. Great shot.
Martin has really heated up in the second half. And he cuts it to 1 again. Timeout on the floor. The Raptors have just not stopped battling.
Don't forget tomorrow at 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. The football tournament.
We're doing some serious coaching up here.
Oh, yeah.
In the huddle.
I mean, 2 minutes left, down by 1. I think this is a perfect opportunity to get a good play or maybe a good defensive stop, whatever they need to do. Good time for a coach to step in right here and help them out.
This has been a good character game for the Raptors. It could have gotten away from them. They were trailing by 16, 17 points in the first half, trailing the entire game, double digits most of the time. But they just haven't stopped battling. And again, they are playing with a short bench. They have a lot of injuries right now.
They do.
They don't have anywhere near their full complement of players.
Yeah, I see more guys on the bench with jeans than I do in the jersey.
Exactly. Jordan with a big layup. He has hit some big shots tonight for Morris.
Good clutch.
Puts the lead back to 3. Oh, Robinson is just mugged. And Jaden will go to the line. I tell you, Azir Lee tried to ride him like a horse. Put a saddle on that guy. Shot up and good. Cuts it to 2. Again, the Raptors have never led.
It's crazy to think about. I mean, it's hard to believe.
I know.
They have been down all the game, but at some point I feel like they haven't been in the lead once. But here we go, 1 point again.
They may just decide to lead at the right time.
That's all that matters, yeah.
Ruiz with the ball. There's Lee. Oh, wait a minute. That's got to be a double dribble.
I guess they were calling somehow a jump ball, but still, possession's in MC's favor.
Yeah.
They'll get the ball.
Raptors
finally have a chance.
They have a chance to take the lead here. Let's see what happens. A lot of pushing and shoving out there. They get it across. Palla with the ball. The top of the key to Robinson. To Martin.
3-ball.
There's the 3-ball.
Oh.
And Orabierre just had great position on that rebound.
He did.
He boxed out Chachua.
Yeah. But that was a good three-point opportunity, though. It was wide open.
Oh, no, that was a good shot.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That hurts. That hurts. Samir Jordan with an acrobatic layup. Look at this thing. And he's fouled.
That was amazing. An amazing shot.
He's been a real star tonight for Morris. The intensity, these two teams got to play again tomorrow.
I don't know how they're going to be able to.
Well, O to be 19 and be in great shape.
That's true. That's true.
But still, I got a feeling there's a few ice baths ahead.
Yeah.
Because these guys have been hitting the floor. They've been hitting each other. It's one of the most physical basketball games I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
And he makes the foul shot. That was a big foul shot. 40 seconds. The Raptors need. Oh. And that's a foul on Jordan.
And Martin will go to the line.
He's been a good foul shooter in the past. He needs to make them to the 4-point game. He's hurting a little bit after hitting the floor there.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
See if he can compose himself. Shot is up. Oh, in and out. He needs this one badly. And then the Raptors need a stop. Up and good. Let's see what the Raptors do. They're going to go full court with the pressure. They break it to Ruiz, and they're in no hurry. Raptors going to have to foul. And there's the foul.
Oh, no.
Timeout.
Yep, timeout from the coach.
18 seconds to go. This is a tough situation for MC. They've had they've only played 2 games this year. They've had several, the 2 games, the one went to overtime. And the second game of the season was a 3-point game. So the Raptors have been in nothing but close ones. Granted, small, they've only played 3 games, but wow.
And that's a lot of energy, going down the stretch in the close game. And
yeah.
A lot of concentration, a lot of energy. So even though it's only been 3 games, I know that, some good night's sleep is probably what they're really going to want tonight.
Yeah. And you look at the Raptors bench, and you're right, there's a lot of guys over there in street clothes.
Oh, yeah, a lot of jeans.
That would normally be in Raptor gear.
Yeah.
But they've had a spate of injuries, and it's kind of thrown a wrench into their plans for the early part of the season. Well, hopefully these guys will heal up, and Coach Wise will have his full complement of players. All right, big possession here. 18 seconds. They get it inbounds. It looked to me like he traveled. No call, and there's a foul. Looked like a travel.
It did.
It really did.
But Brandon Rodriguez will go to the line here.
Yep. Now he's struggled from the line.
Yeah.
He hasn't struggled from the floor.
Yeah, not from three, but from the line. So we'll see.
Last time he was there, he missed 2 out of 3.
Knockdown. Yep.
Should have kept my mouth shut. That's going to make it tough, real tough. He makes them both. 5-point lead. 10 seconds to go. And a timeout called by Jamal Wise. I think he staved off a turnover.
Yeah. Wow. That was close.
So that's a full timeout, of course. And 5-point lead. So what do they got to do here, Andre?
It needs to be like one of those and one 3-pointers where you can shoot the 3, get the foul, make the free throw so it's 4 points, and then get a steal. And so there's a lot they have to do right here. But hey,
I mean, there's only 7.3 seconds to go.
Exactly.
So they've got to jack up a 3 real quick, and then hope for a turnover on the inbounds play.
I mean, they could score 2 here.
And that is the ball game. That is the ball game. Turnover. So the Raptors, and that's it. That is it. Calla makes it, but it's to no avail as Morris pulls off the win, 96-92, and that ends our day 1 of the Montgomery College tip-off basketball tournament. Just to wrap it up real quick for everyone, in the first game, Monroe beat Frederick 71-64. The second game, Paul Camp beat Union 71-63. The third game of the day, Nova beat the Montgomery College women 75-71. And we just saw County College of Morris knock off the MC Raptors 96-92. Any real quick final thoughts, Andre?
It was a good battle. MC, they lost the game, but they had to, have some encouragement that they fought all the way back from, 17, 16 points down. So it was a loss, but they got to take something away from it.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a moral victory here for the Raptors. They certainly gave it everything they had. Chris Martin taking that loss, very tough. There's our schedule of tomorrow's games. We started off at 11 o'clock with Frederick taking on Northern Virginia. And then you see the rest of our games at 1, 3, and 5. So for my partner, Andre Anderson, and everyone on the very, very hard-working Montgomery College television production crew, thanks so much for watching day 1 of the MC Tip-Off Tournament. We'll be back here tomorrow for day 2.
Yo, get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
Prepare for a rewarding career in these exciting fields. And if your goal is a bachelor's degree, starting at MC is a smart choice. Join the thousands that are getting the education they need to succeed at Montgomery College.